Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life here with another episode of the Festival Flashback 2020, the year of no festivals. So it's been fun at least to look back at this and enjoy what was and what hopefully will be next year. As always, we reach into the stein of festivals and pull one out randomly and then talk about it. Yeah. So get us going. What we got?
Let's have a look. Monsters of Rock 1988.
Monsters of Rock 1988. There were 6 bands that played this. However, unlike any other festival flashback we've done to this point, the focus on unfortunately is not so much on what the bands were, because it is only 6. It is really about events. This one is obviously very, very famous for the fact that Guns N' Roses, 2 fans died during Guns N' Roses set, a crush. Unfortunately, 1998 Monsters of Rock was incredibly poorly run, free for all by the sound of it, and too many people were in the crowd, and they crushed at the front of the barricades during Guns N' Roses set. 2 people died
I wonder if
just watching music.
Yeah, it's awful. I wonder if that implemented the whole, when you go to shows now, there's never one whole crowd. You always get...
Oh, the splits,
there's
like
always,
certain like barriers in between certain ones.
Yeah, like a midway point where you can actually get into the crowd if you have to for safety reasons.
We'll have to read up on the inquest, but basically it is noted that an inquest followed after this, and 1989 edition never took place. It would come back in 1990, and the presumption is, without actually being able to read up on it now, the presumption is a lot more safety controls were put in from that point onwards. It's a shame that by 1998 we hadn't actually learned lessons from Woodstock back in the day and crap like that. And in 1988, we were still doing stupid things like this. What a senseless way to die. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 6 bands, 6 of the big ones, basically. There's nothing really to get too excited about here. It's not going to be a great episode. We have Iron Maiden, the show released as part of Eddie's archive. Iron Maiden, obviously British, great, 1988. What album would that have been?
Oh, that's a test of knowledge there.
That is a real test of knowledge. I don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah. Kiss, Kiss still.
80s Kiss, okay.
88 Kiss. I mean, it's Kiss.
They always bring a show.
You'll be entertained.
Yeah.
You'll be entertained. I think that's where it is.
Yeah.
One I don't know if it'll be that entertaining. David Lee Roth. Solo stuff then?
I don't know much of his solo stuff.
I really don't either, because I can't imagine he was doing Van Halen stuff if he was out on his own.
I'm guessing vanity product to a point. You call yourself... It's just
I don't think I've ever heard any David Lee Roth solo stuff. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm a big Van Halen fan, but I'm a Van Halen fan of both sides. Yeah. More than anything else. Megadeth, 1988. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good. Very early Dave stuff. Still probably furiously pissed off at life. The aforementioned Guns N' Roses, 1988. You can see why they would have been crazy popular at that time. And over the years, unfortunately, particularly back during these era, you hear far too many times of incidents occurring during Guns N' Roses shows, whether it be riots or stuff like that, and it always will leave a sour taste in your mouth. It is good that, like, recently, I think, what was it, last year or the year before? Was it last year, Download 2019?
No, 2018 they did.
2018, they were able to play there as a unified unit, and people had a good time. So it's nice to see things have changed. People have grown up. But yeah, when you do reflect, and let me get this straight, I'm not saying that was Guns N' Roses' fault. No. Absolutely. How could it be? Yeah. How fucking could it be? But Axl and Guns N' Roses have been responsible for things that are their fault. Yeah. But certainly not this. This is obviously on the organisers. Yeah. And of course an audience as much as anything else. You have to take some personal responsibility. And when it comes, I realise at a certain point when if you're trapped amongst a crush at a front, there's fuck all you can do. It's why people like during a fire end up dying. So many people die via crushing during a fire set at a nightclub and stuff like that. It's a horrible, horrible event. And we won't dwell on it anymore because the lineup was wrapped up with Halloween. Very early days for Halloween. One band on this list, aside from David Lee Roth actually, but the one band I consider, because I don't really consider David Lee Roth as a band, but the one band from that list. No, actually, I've never seen Guns N' Roses. Several bands. What am I talking about? But Halloween are a band I haven't seen live and I'd really like to. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen them maybe as a Bloodstock headliner, particularly during this Pumpkins United tour that they've been doing for the last year or so, which obviously mostly been put on hold for now. As a lineup, it's kind of hard to be like, would we have gone? You know, I was 4 years old at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's irrelevant. Is it a strong day of music? Absolutely.
Oh,
You've got
definitely.
up and comers and Halloween, Guns N' Roses and Megadeth.
Yeah.
You've got a bit of like the old school with David Lee Roth and Kiss and Maiden.
Yeah.
All the Maiden is still young at 88 as well.
Yeah.
It's not quite here's the future because there was no future for Guns N' Roses really.
No.
There wasn't.
No.
You know, there wasn't. There was just stuff to come in the 90s, but you know.
Heydays was.
This was the heyday. This was the big time of Guns N' Roses. I mean, obviously they're going to be rising up the bill over the next couple of years, but you were probably seeing Guns N' Roses at the most volatile.
Yeah.
Most volatile, I think.
Yeah.
88 Monsters of Rock. If you were there, I would love to hear from you. Let us know what it was like in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL as well as Big Cartel where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?